Alright YouTube, I'm going to show you how to make it's pretty simple lasagna. Pretty fast too, not too much prep. Usually what I do is I take, let's see, this is a 24-ounce can of, or jar, whatever you want to call it, cottage cheese, small curd. I'll take 2 of those. Sometimes I'll drain them through cheesecloth. That's what I prefer, because I prefer a dry or not so soupy lasagna. And then, so I take 2 of those, this 24-ounce cottage cheese, and then ricotta cheese, 1 32-ounce. Add that in. I have to pull that out. Get all that cheesy goodness out of there. Okay, and I save all those, and I actually use them for seed saving or for bolts and nuts, stuff like that. So then I'm going to take 2 teaspoons. You don't have to use as much as if you don't like. I just like being flavorful, of onion powder. And then about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then about 2 heaping teaspoons full of, this is a chicken broth. You can use beef broth or vegetable broth if you're a vegetarian. And then pepper, I use about a fourth of a teaspoon. And then cayenne, you can omit this if you want. My family likes hot stuff, so I'd say that's probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. But like I said, you can omit it, and or just put a lot less in it if you don't like things a little spicy. And then just mix that up good and thorough. Okay, then we're gonna, and I'm just gonna use a aluminum pan. Somebody bought this for me, bought me a whole pack of them, so I'm using them till they're gone. And I just spread the tomato sauce into the bottom, where you get it a good covering. And then, to make it simpler, so you don't have to boil the noodles. Now, if I was making homemade noodles, I wouldn't be able to do this. This is another easy, fast way, or lazy way, if you want to call it. But get the oven-ready lasagna noodles. What that means is you don't have to boil them like you do all the other noodles. And then you just line the bottom with it. And then we're gonna, so we got it lined, and then we're gonna put a layer of our mixture on top. And now, usually, but I forgot it, we were in a rush at the grocery store today, so I didn't get any spinach, and I don't have any canned spinach right now, so usually I'll take spinach and add into this. Good way to get an iron added into it for my boys. And but they like just the cheese one too, so I've tried to add meat to this, like ground beef, but they like meat, but they actually prefer their lasagna to be just cheese. Okay, well, after I put that layer, then I put just a quick little layer of the spaghetti sauce on top. And I try to keep my sauce down low, because if I eat this too late, boy, it tells on me. and everybody seems to like it with just a hint of the sauce in it. And that's about the amount I put of the sauce in there. And then you start with another layer of noodles, and you just keep going with that until you get to the top, until, well, about a 1/4 inch from the top, I'd say. And as it gets up higher on these pans, I notice there's a line on the side, so what I'll do there is I'll split one of these and then just add the extra over there on that side, and it'll work out. And then just keep layering. And one thing I forgot to tell you, I didn't do this on the bottom layer, and I should have, but I also take grated cheese and put in there on each layer. Should have been on the bottom, but I got overzealous. So, but put a good layer of that cheese on there too. And then go back to your next layering. I've made this for my grandparents when they were alive, because they loved it so much. They live way over in Oklahoma, way over. They live about 3 hours away from me. I'm over here in Arkansas, and they live over there, and so they weren't able to get it so much. So I went ahead and made some up for them, and they actually froze them, and then they just thawed out. Grandma thawed out and throw it in the oven for them. And I'm about to start doing that for my mom. My dad's already passed, and so my mom's alone. Can't talk her into coming moving in with me. But she's about as stubborn as I am. And so I figured I'd start making some smaller single servings for her, and they can start. She can just freeze those, and when she's ready to eat them, and she can pull them out, thaw them up a little, and throw them in the oven. So what I'm trying to say is this is a good freezer. It'll freeze up, and as long as you seal it up good enough to where it doesn't get a whole bunch of ice crystals up in there. But everything in it, all the cheeses and sauces and everything, you can freeze without too much problem. So, and then here on the last one, the top one, I put the noodles down. And press it down a little bit so it all settles. And I got some excess of this, so I'll just put it on top. Usually I just throw some sauce on there and some cheese and call it good, but since I got excess of this, I'll go ahead and just spread it across the top and do it again. So, layer it again. And whatever whatever's left of that. You can eat like a cottage cheese if you want, if you like ricotta cheese. And just a little bit more. Okay, and while you're doing this, you can be preheating your oven to 350. And time-wise, I actually like cooking mine a lot longer. 30 minutes, it should be good and bubbly and warm, or hot, and ready to go. But me, myself, I'll start watching it after 30 minutes, and I'll run it to 45 up to an hour sometimes, and because I like the edges starting to get crispy and all, and I just like my stuff well done. Seems to give it a better taste to me. But okay, when you get that done, throw it in a 350 for about 30 minutes, and then start checking it, and I'll show you it when it comes out. Alright YouTube, here's the lasagna done. And I ran that about, turned out to be about 50 to 55 minutes. And it's all done and ready to eat. We will see you next time.